Hey there, my name is Trenton Kruger and I'm an Australian music artist, music producer and songwriter. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to episode 1 of my vlog. I'm so excited to jump on and do this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time and procrastinating a little bit too much. What better way to kick off episode 1 than to actually just share a little bit of my story with you guys, because you likely have no idea who I am and you're probably thinking, who is this guy? So let's get into it. My story begins right here on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. I've always found the Sunshine Coast such a beautiful place to come back to. It's awe-inspiring. There's amazing beaches and rainforests and waterholes and rivers. It's just such a raw and organic type of environment to be a creative person in. And I would say that definitely influenced the way that I approached music from a young age. If you're Australian, you might resonate with the fact that we often feel quite separate and quite disconnected from, other major music hubs in the world, whether it's Los Angeles or Nashville, New York, London. You grow up listening to all this amazing music and culture that is born out of these amazing hubs. But I think there's something to be said about growing up in an out-of-the-way place, somewhere that people are unfamiliar with, and really having to find your voice within that place. My parents bought me a little 3/4 scale nylon string acoustic guitar when I was 7, and I started getting guitar lessons. Part of those guitar lessons was to perform a concert, I think annually, and I just remember the exhilarating feeling of being able to give, to be able to learn something and then to give something to an audience. And then that progressed into my teenage years. I met some school friends. We started a little rock band that became like a screamo punk band. I remember all through high school telling people, I'm just gonna play music, not knowing what that actually entailed. And it wasn't until I actually graduated high school, I had the opportunity to start touring professionally as a guitarist for a country artist here in Australia. I'd never played country music before, and thankfully he still allowed me to play in the band, even though it must have sounded terrible. Things naturally kept kind of progressing from there. I was playing in an acoustic duo called Sky Pilot, and we got some really amazing opportunities to live in the US for a while and to tour with different bands and to really learn the ropes of the touring industry and what it looks like to be a touring artist. I would say a lot of my 20s was kind of haphazard. I didn't really have much of a plan. In hindsight, it feels like I was just trying to make good decisions with the next best opportunity that was in front of me. There wasn't a whole lot of, strategy or, tunnel focus as to where I really wanted to end up and what a sustainable career in music would look like moving forward. That haphazard approach, in a way, ended up serving me well in that I got to experience a whole vast array of everything from being a touring guitarist to being a songwriter to playing in original bands to touring in original bands to composing for film and doing sound design for film. Really gave me this beautiful kind of foundation to step back and go, who do I actually want to become with all of these skills now? To be real with you, I didn't believe that it was worthwhile being an artist anymore, and I became quite lost. Didn't think my songs carried any value. I didn't think there was any need to write more songs. But it was 2019, and music industry mentor that we'd recently met really was the first person to sit me down and challenge me to the core and ask me, what do you want to do? And why did you come all the way from Australia to Nashville if you don't know what you want to do? And it was actually the first time I was able to vocalize out loud to someone, I think I have songs in me that matter. And he was the first guy to ever actually say, Trent, you need to take these songs seriously. You need to go home. If that means saying no to touring for 3 years, if that means you don't pick up the phone for other projects anymore, you have to give yourself time and space to explore this area of you that you've been not exploring or procrastinating on for too long. Crazy timing, because that was only a few months prior to the pandemic of 2020, and all my work as a touring guitarist in Nashville dried up. So Amy and I decided to come back to Australia with no jobs lined up, nothing but suitcases. We'd sold everything to move to Nashville. In a weird kind of twist of events, I feel like the stripping back of that was everything that needed to happen to bring me right back to this base level of who am I? What do I want to contribute to the world? How am I going to do it? So that's what this last few years has been. songwriting, working with some guys back in the US, but mainly just existing here in my studio at home, trying to believe that what I'm doing carries any value for people out there in the world. So with all that to say, here we are, episode 1 of this vlog, and I want to share more of this journey with you guys. We need to do it together because nothing in life is linear and there's so many ups and downs. And if I can share some of the ups and downs with you all, hopefully it inspires you to chase the things that you really believe that you're put on earth to do. And that's really been my mantra my whole life, is to do the things that you feel like you were put on earth to do. And that's really hard. It's a lot easier when you're in your teenage years and even your early 20s, mid 20s, when there's a little less at stake. You get knocked back a few times and you make some bad decisions a few times and you end up in a different place to where you thought you were going to end up, and it becomes really hard actually to keep saying yes, to get back up and to go again. And that doesn't really get celebrated with each other all that much. So let's do this journey together. I'm sitting on a whole bunch of music that's going to come out next year. So if you're interested in music, life, songwriting, music production, adventure, doing the journey together, community, being friends, jump on and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much.